Hi everyone, today I'm going to do some videos on the humble tux / pinch bow depending on where you're from. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 separate videos. We're going to have one with the templates like in this video, one with wrapping your thread, which is a no-sew. We're going to do one with gluing and we're going to do one with hand stitching, completely freehand. And I'm going to give you tips on keeping alignment, the balancing of your bows, stitch placement, what the front of the bow should look like, what the back of the bow should look like, and like all the extra information to sort of help you learn, like I said, how to get your dips even on each one. Because the thing that happens with like a lot of people when they start making bows, they get obsessed with which is the right technique or the best technique, and sometimes it's less about the right techniques and things like that and the technique that suits you best, that you're most confident with. Because like I said, hand stitching is great, but like I said, not everybody can achieve that. Like I said, some people will entirely do everything that they make with glue because that's what they are comfortable with, that's what they like, that's how they know how to build their makes with. So like I said, it's not about the best version or the correct way to make things, it's the way that makes sense to you, that you feel most confident with, that you feel that, like I said, that you have made the very best bow with what you are able to do. So like I said, that's why I'm going to show you the 4 different techniques and like how to get like the balance of the bow right on each style and each width, and like I said, the preferred amount of dips and creases and things like that that you need to look for, and like I said, keeping your alignment so both your sides are even and things like that. So that's the idea of these videos. And as you can see, I've already got my templates all lined up. I've actually got my black extra strength Goodband thread out for you today so that you all can see. And when I'm doing any stitches, I always use a longer than standard needle. In the UK I use darning needles because they're not as blunt as some other countries, and you can pick them up at Hobbycraft and places like that, or haberdashery stores. So like I said, they're quite useful because they're longer, and it'll help you with your stitch placement because you can see where you're placing your stitches on the needle, and it'll help you keep them nice and even. So that's a tip. But like I said, in other countries you can get upholstery needles, and I think it's crewel or crew needles. I'm rubbish pronouncing that word, so apologies. But like I said, you want a slightly longer than standard needles. These ones are on average about 7 centimeters long. But I'm going to get into the video now, so you're not bogged down with all my technical talk. And as you can see, I've got 3 inches on 6-inch template, 2 inches on a 4-inch template, 1.5 inch ribbon on a 3-inch template, and 1 inch ribbon on a 2-inch template. So we're going to start with the 2, because like I said, each size needs slightly different amount of stitches and creases, and like I said, that's where people make the mistakes when they're learning. So for every template, on your templates, you don't necessarily need correct amounts on things like that, but I will heat seal my ends. I think this one's the only one I didn't do. And when you're heat sealing, stay in that clear blue bit of the flame, never the orangey tip, and that will heat seal your ribbon nicely and stop you fraying, but it won't burn over seal, so it won't melt the edge and give you too much of a look, or sort of give you smoke marks on your ribbon. So heat seal your ends, and what I do is I have my ribbon all on rolls like this, and I will just take it so it's a little bit over, so we've got enough to stitch through, go round and a little bit over the stitch mark that side and cut. And that's what I do for all sizes of ribbon. Like I said, I keep it on the roll and I only cut the amount. And if I'm going to do a little production line where I'm doing a few bows at once, I'll do the first one and then I'll use that first piece as a guide to cut multiple other pieces to place on the template one after each other. They also sort of speed up your process a little bit because, like I said, it keeps things nice and evenly balanced with no slippage and things like that. So if you're one for sort of drifting or you're not very good at keeping alignments, that's why templates are good, because your loops will always be even and your bows will be balanced naturally without you having to put in that little bit of extra work that sort of freehand does. And what you should always be doing is you want to be stitching so that this is your front. So the bit with no join is your front. You start from above, and this is a 4 count drop. So from above, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in, across, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the back you've got 2. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Front, back, and this is the 1 inch version. And remember to tie off your thread. Which I will do this time. Wasn't very clever of me, was it? Let's try that again. Right, so as you can see, we've got the stitches quite even. So when we pull that together, you will get these 2 creases, and then wrap round your middle. And if you're worried it's not balanced, if you fold it in half like so and make sure your edges line up, that means that where you're wrapping your thread is the correct place. And wrap round a couple of times like so. Stitch off in your back however you prefer to stitch off. Sorry, I don't make many 1 inch bows. I find them a little bit fiddly for my taste personally, unless I'm doing embellishment bows for the sides of my ribbons. So there you go. And as you can see, you should get a nicely balanced bow with your 2 creases, 1 dip this side, 1 dip that side, and this is what your back looks like, with the first edge coming in, your little bump in the middle, and your second edge coming this side. Okay, and like I said, the key thing is with your creases, with stitching, if you keep them even, it automatically brings your creases together the same height value, which again is another way to get these dip values the same, which helps you balance the bow shape overall and gives you a more even finish to your bows. And that principle works on all. That's why a lot of people actually like stitching, because stitching, unlike when you fold it yourself, it automatically, if you place your stitches evenly, when you cinch your bows together, it automatically brings those creases together naturally. Whereas, like I said, when you fold, you do have to do it yourself with your own hands, and like I said, sometimes that's a little bit trickier. So like I said, that's why a lot of people move to sewing compared to other styles. And again, wrap this round, and this is the 1.5. Now with 1.5, this is one of the sizes, this and 3 inch. You can either do the same stitch as this, which is your 4, or you can do 3. And let me just show you a 3 version. So this would be a 3 crease 6 drop instead of a 2 crease 4 drop. So like I said, that's what they look like that, and you can personally choose which you prefer when you start making them. I'm going to do this in 4 so you can see, and when I do the other sewed hand-free version, I'm going to do 6 so you can see the difference. So from above on this side, I've actually threaded that off again. 2, 3, 4. Take clip off. So in, 1, out, still 2 stitches on the back, and then you can pull them together like so, and again you've got the 2 creases, you dips both sides, fold them up to make sure you're actually right in the centre with your wrapping, and wrap round a couple of times and then stitch off however you prefer. Now on this one, just going to show you the difference. As you can see, I have not done 100% even stitchings on this one, and I'm going to show you when I cinch that together. Look, that top layer is coming up higher than this one, and the backs are out of alignment, and this is another bit where it throws off the balance of your bows. So the best thing about this method that I do is, if this happens, pull this up, snip that off, reclip it for a second and re-tie off your thread. And also, if your bows are consistently looking a little bit off to you, that will probably be where you're going wrong. You're probably slightly uneven without realising that that's something that you do. So just fold that in half so we've got our centre. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still a little bit off for me, so I'm just gonna, there we go. So can you see the difference? That's much more even. In, across, out. 1, 2 on this side. See that. There we go. So when we cinch this time, you'll be able to see the difference. And like I said, people don't realise just how much of a difference that actually makes. But can you see now? Both those creases are lined up at the front, and they're lined up at the back. So now we can wrap, confidently knowing that that's more balanced, and as you can see, it's also balanced those dips better as well. So wrap and stitch that off like so. And there's our 1.5 with the 4 drops that matches our little 1 inch 4 drop one. And then I've got 2 inch ribbon, and we're going to do a 6 stitch drop on this one. And that will give us 3 creases. Okay, so like I said, the joins the back, start from your centre, always from above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in, 1, 2, out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the back you should have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, in, 1, 2, out. And then, like I said, slip it off your template. And as you can see, I've got those fairly even, but like I said, the more even you get, the better. And then when we pull those together, you can see we've got 3 creases, and like I said, our pinches are sort of lining up so that they're all creased at the same height. And let me just adjust that on the back so you can see. The back is the same, where you've got the line in and 1, 2, and line against those creases in the centre. I'm just going to heat seal that because I think I missed this set. Okay, that's better. Right, so cinch, wrap round, and stitch off in the back. There we go. And the other thing I like about using thread is if, like I said, as you saw there, I went slightly off to one side, you can adjust it a little bit so it keeps your balance. And again, if you do that and then check, you can see that you're still centered, like so. And this is what your front looks like, with 2 dips either side. And this is what the back, and like I said, you get this against there, your 2 creases, and then this one pulling in against it. Okay, so that's your 2-inch version. And 3 inches, this is one. You can either do 6 stitches or you can do 8, depending on what you prefer. Like I said, it depends on what you find visually more appealing. But I'll just hold this for you. This is what one with 4 creases looks like, where you've got 3 dips either side instead of your 2, and you've got 4 creases in the middle. This is what your back, 1, 2, 3, and your edges pulling in there. So that's what 4 stitches, but we're going to do 6 so I can show you on this one. And I've just tied that off. So that's always your back. And again, we always start from above, and we're going to do 6 even stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through your top. So in, 1, 2, out, and the back, 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you're happy they're balanced, take them off your template, and again pull it together so you get your 3 nice even creases, front and back. As you can see, they're all lined up at the back. Make sure you stay centered on your wrap. Okay, a couple of times around. And then stitch off. Okay, so let's take our guide clips out of the way, move this, and there you go. 1, 2, 1, 2 this side, 3 creases, edge in, 1, 2, edge out. Okay, I'm just going to bring that so they're all levelled up, and that's what your 3-inch bows look like with 6 drop stitches. Okay, so that's your 3-inch ribbon, and I use, like I said, a 6-inch template on that one. That's your 2-inch ribbon, and I used a 4-inch template on that one. You can use 5, like I said, you can use 3 depending on what sort of look or amount of flared you like on your bows. We did the 1.5 on a 3-inch template and the 1-inch ribbon on the 2-inch template. So 6, 4, 3, 2. These are the looks you get. Like I said, when I put my video up in my group, I will have the stitch placement guides for you so you can see front and back on those. But like I said, this is what they all look like from the front. Like I said, you've got your 2 dips on each one on these ones with the 6 stitch drops. And you've got your 2 creases on and your 1 dip either side on your 4 stitch drops. And this is the backs. Like so. Back, back, okay. There. So hopefully you're finding this useful, and like I said, this is how you make using your templates. And like I said, it's a 4-part series, so there is going to be a couple of more, all doing the TUX bows in different methods, so they'll all be linked in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you need any more help at all on this style of making, I've got links to my group and my page in the description below, so feel free to pop across and ask me any questions that you might have, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks, bye!